All right, let's talk about mobilization. Mobilization. Get your Qurans out. Get your Qurans out. We're about to learn something. Quran, Surah 59 or chapter 59. 1 through 5, 11 through 15. Get your Qurans out. This chapter in English is called mobilization. Um, I want to go over some terms first, and then we'll come back to this. And these are lessons that I'm teaching. Mobilization. In this chapter, you're going to learn a few terms. First term, people of the book phrase. People of the book. A people of the book is another name for the children of Israel. You have to understand that the children of Israel were 12 tribes that literally lost their identity. So after they lost their identity, the Most High don't call them children of Israel anymore. The Most High now calls them the people of the book because we don't know our tribes anymore. So throughout the Quran, when you see people of the book, that's what it's talking about. People of the book, another name for the children of Israel after losing their true identity. Muhammad, peace be upon him, he's a messenger man. Gabriel is the angel that came down and revealed the Quran. He's an angel messenger. And there's two kinds of people of the book. Rather, there's three kinds of people of the book. Disbelieving people of the book, believing people of the book, and the third kind, which is the worst kind, which is the kind I hate, is the hypocrite people of the book. All right, we're going to talk about this chapter. Let me go back up. Chapter 59, mobilization. This is the part that explains the last final remnant of Negroes being exiled out of the land of Shem by Muhammad, the messenger of God. So there was a time during Jeremiah, if you go back to read the books in Jeremiah and Isaiah, Jeremiah and Isaiah was a time where the children of Israel ran into Egypt, and the Most High told them not to run into Egypt, but they ran into Egypt. But all of them didn't run into Egypt. You had a remnant that stayed, and then even after Esau's time or Jesus, peace be upon him, there was a remnant that ran amongst the Israelites, that lived amongst the Israelites. They had their own little communities and stuff like that. So when Prophet Muhammad came and rose up, you had Israel, you had a remnant, a last remnant there. Um, and this is what happened. Now, with this lecture, the point I'm trying to make here is the rioting that's happening amongst the people of the book, the people of the diaspora, the African Americans. This rioting is not new. This rioting is not a result of slavery. This rioting happened in the Quran. I know this sounds strange. I know you're taught that the people of the book are Jews and Christians by the pale Arabs and by mainstream Islam, but that is totally not true. People of the book are the children of Israel. Just another name. Okay? And I can make another PowerPoint about that and explain that. So let's talk about the African Americans, and there's rioting going on in London. There's a civil war going on in Cameroon right now. Nobody knows about. So let's talk about African Americans. How has the 1960 riots hurt African Americans? And there's other articles about the riots that happened in London that hurt the economy of the London African Londonians. You know what I'm saying? Um, but we're gonna talk about African Americans. That's what I'm most familiar with. We had the Detroit riots, Los Angeles riots in 1965. We had the Newark riots in 1967. We had the Washington riots in 1968. There's your source. So these riots were severe, a lot of arrests. The National Guard had to be mobilized. Mobilization. Arson. Let's move on quickly. I don't want these lessons to go on too long because I got a lot of lessons to do. 1960 riots hurt. How did the riots hurt African Americans? I'm gonna read the last quote. The riots significantly depressed the median value of black-owned property between 1960 and 1970, with little or no rebound in the 1970s. So when we rioted, we did not destroy um, other races' property. We actually destroyed our own property in our own neighborhoods. Here's a picture. Detroit riots. You can get a picture of it. I don't want to touch this too much and mess with the sound. See things hanging. You see the picture? Boom, boom, boom. Now let's talk about the scripture. Let's go into it. Quran 59, 1 through 5. Quran 59, 1 through 5. Please pause this and go get your Quran if you don't have your Quran, because this is some good stuff. Glorifying God is all that exists in the heavens and the earth. He is the Almighty and the Most Wise. It is He who evicted, remember that word, evicted those who disbelieved among the people of the book from their homes at the first mobilization. You did not think that they would leave, and they thought their fortresses would protect them from God. But God came at them from where they never expected and threw terror into their hearts. They wrecked, listen to this part, they wrecked their homes with their own hands and by the hands of the believers. Therefore, take a lesson, O you who have insight. Think about this, take a lesson. They rioted during that time, and they destroyed, the Most High put terror in their hearts, and they destroyed their own homes. Now, let's talk about the exile. There was a remnant of people of the book, black people, children of Israel, the diaspora, in the Middle East. Every year, the Most High, once a year, decrees, during the night of power, decrees destiny, decrees events to happen for the year. Kind of like a New Year's type of thing, where He decrees and He sends the angels down to, with the Spirit, to inspire things to happen. So, Quran 59, 1 through 5, we're on 3. Had God not decreed exile for them, He would have punished them in this life, but in the hereafter they will have the punishment of the fire. So the Most High decreed that the children of Israel be kicked out of the land of Shem. The remnant of them be kicked out of the land of Shem. Now, this was a mercy, because the children of Israel was practicing voodoo, disbelieving, practicing Canaanite religions. And then when Muhammad rose up and the Creator sent a messenger from another people telling them to keep their rights, to keep the Torah. This is the part you threw behind your back. This is the part you disregarded. Because there is no resurrection. There is no day of judgment in the Torah. That's the part that I'm not going to say, that's the part that they disregarded. That's the part that they threw behind their backs. But we'll talk about that another time. So the decree was exile. That was a mercy, because He could have said, Muhammad, kill them all. He could have said, hey, earthquake, swallow them up. Send down a meteorite, destroy them all, just like He did to Sodom and Gomorrah. But He didn't. He allowed them to live on and be kicked out and go into Africa. He would have punished them in this life. He would have wiped them out. But He decreed exile. He decreed that they be kicked out of the land. And you know what happened after that? We migrated deeper into Africa. Then it was a Arab slave trade. And then it was a European Atlantic slave trade. And it also was another type of slave trade. Sub-Sahara slave trade. And there was one more, I totally forgot. That is because they oppose God and His messenger. Whoever opposes God, God is stern in retribution. Whether you cut down a tree or leave it standing on its trunk, it is by God's will He will surely disgrace the sinners. And after we got exiled, we was definitely disgraced. Moving on. Have you not considered those who act hypocritically? They say to their brethren who disbelieved among the people of the book, if you are evicted, we will leave with you, and will not obey anyone against you, And should anyone fight you, we will certainly support you. But God bears witness that they are liars. If they are evicted, they will not leave with them. And if anyone fights them, they will not support them. And if they go to their aid, they will turn their backs and flee. Then they will receive no support. So, the hypocrites are the people of the book. They will egg you on. My people. They will egg you on. Let's fight the power. Fight the power. Let's fight this. Yeah. Let's do it. Get your guns. But when the first bullet goes past their head, they're turning their backs. They're not going to really be with you. Most High going to put terror in their hearts because they disbelieved and not going to support them. The fear of you is more intense in their hearts than fear of God. They fear Muhammad more than they fear God. They fear man more than they fear God. That is because they are a people who do not understand. They don't understand that the Creator make you win wars and lose wars. Quran 59. Now, when I read this, I want you to think Chicago. I want you to think Chicago. I want you to think Detroit. I want you to think black people. They will not fight you all together except from fortified strongholds or from behind walls. Okay? We love life. The children of Israel, the people in the book, we love to live. We don't want to die. We love to live. Listen closely, please listen. Their hostility towards each other is severe. Black on black crime. You would think they are united. Wow. You would think they're united. But their hearts are diverse. You see them marching in the streets. You would think that they all are united. But they're not. They shoot each other, kill each other, call each other niggas, fuss with each other like rams, ram each other all day long. That is because they are a people who do not understand. Now, this is not all black people. This is the disbelieving ones. I am a believing people of the book, okay? I'm a believing people of the book. All right, like those, let me finish it up. Like those shortly before them, they experience the consequences of their decisions. For them is a painful punishment. Let's look at these pictures. Chicago violence produces 762 homicides in 2016. And we have some more homicides this year. Please read that. You would think they are united. Look at the picture. But their hearts are diverse. Their hostility, please look at that picture, towards each other is severe. They will do drive-bys. They will kill a nigga, murder each other in a minute. But they won't touch any other race. And if they bark about it, when it goes down, they will cower it out. If the police come, they're running. They fear man. They fear other ethnic groups more than they fear God. Conclusion. What's the problem? The problem with the Negroes, the people of the book, worldwide, is their hearts. They have to come back to the one God. They murdered their prophets. Disbelieve in some of them. They opposed the prophet Muhammad when he came. And when he came, all he did was, tell them follow the Torah, and this is the part right here that you took out. Some of them practice voodoo, worship idols, and disbelieve in God's scriptures. IslamicHouseOfIsrael.com. Come to the IslamicHouseOfIsrael.com and learn. We have more and more and more lessons coming out. Now I'm gonna bring them out each day, and it's gonna break down everything. You're gonna see black people in the Quran. You're gonna see black people in the Torah. You're gonna see our history. You're gonna know what we need to do. We have created a calendar based off the scriptures, so you can keep your holy days, the correct dates. Okay, we have the correct dates. All the other groups, they are not following the Passover on the correct day. They're not following the Feast of Tabernacle on the correct day. They're not following Ramadan in the correct month. We have all of that. We are the Islamic House of Israel. Come to us. Islamic House of Israel will teach you how to come back to God. And the Creator, if He wills, will heal your heart, and we can get things going. And you'll be a believing people of the book, not a disbelieving people of the book. We believe in all the scriptures, but I'll save that for the next time. I'm going to explain exactly what Islamic House of Israel believe. So with that, peace. Much love always to the Creator of the heavens and the earth, the most gracious. I will see you next time. Peace. Peace.